Pleasant day to everyone, those who are present here. Hearty welcome to everyone. Happy New Year to all of you again. Fresh batch and a very fresh new year. Few of the very well-known faces. Very pleasing to see you all back here. Few like Stella, Yapke, Golden, Ramdan, so on, Lemon, and so on, right? Uh, a pleasant and a warm welcome to all of you. I am
Welcome.
Dr. Ravi Kumar from Bangalore,
Good evening,
India.
sir.
A master trainer, a coach, a facilitator, a counselor, a mentor, and also a spiritual trainer and a spiritual preacher. And alongside a content developer, Reiki healer, and also a naturotherapist. I have done many certifications, both national and international level, and I'm also a India government certified POSH and POXO trainer. I'm a certified master trainer for faculty development and teachers development programs by International Academy for International Institute for Academy and Corporate. Other than that, I have won many awards, recognitions, honors, and so on and so forth. I'll be cutting short the whole part of it because it would take a long time for me to explain my own credentials. So just my name and my country would be helping you to recognize me. I'm, as far as my qualification is concerned, I'm a telecom engineering graduate, and I'm also a postgraduate in computer applications. I did both from the Indian Army. I'm an Army veteran, in fact. I did serve in the Indian Army for 30 long years, from 1977 to 2007, and post my retirement for the last 17 years, I'm into this profession of training and development. So far, I've trained more than 1 lakh people, both students and employees of all the categories. Before we start the session, it is my honor, pleasure, privilege to extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the founder of the International Internship University, Advocate Piyush Pandit Sir, who is the backbone of this International Internship University, who is having a very wide vision towards the education sector across the globe. And the International Internship University is the first of its kind that provides the online internship trainings, internship courses to the students of all the categories across the globe. Within a short span of time, International Internship University has spread its wings across all the 7 continents and 195 countries across the globe. This itself speaks about the volume of the International Internship University. It's also my pleasure, privilege, and honor to welcome our Chief of the International Internship University of India chapter, Dr. Snigdha Kadam. Due to some technical glitches, she is not able to come on the camera. Otherwise, she is one of the most enthusiastic and a very energetic and a very encouraging person who is the backbone of the Indian chapter, in fact. Hearty welcome to you, ma'am. Last but not the least, I welcome all the participants over here for this day 1 session of Global Train the Trainers batch. Because this Global Train the Trainers batch, this is about how to develop the trainers' quality and understand the trainers' ethics, etiquettes, and how one can deliver and get into the profession of training in their profession career. So with that, just give me a second. I'll share my screen and start the day. So again, I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
It's visible, right?
yes.
So it's a great pleasure and honor to welcome you all for this wonderful session. So today we will be starting the very first day's session. This day we will be learning about the major key factors that are required for the trainer. And we'll be knowing that. So day one, no need to give much more introduction about me. So let me skip this slide. Just a second. Why this? Yes. So we were talking about the ground rules. The ground rules. The fourth one was the camera. Means I request all the participants to keep your cameras open and attend the training sessions actively and take participation in every interaction that needs to be taken. Then the fifth one is the participate. All of you eagerly and enthusiastically participate in the training session so that you'll find a lot of things to explore and you can have a lot of creativity in you. You can learn a lot of things and you can have a lot of fun as well. And the last one, the sixth one, is not to use the mobile phones during the entire training session so that you will not have any distraction from the trainings. Right? Okay. So now, today, as day one, today in day one, the agenda for day one is we will be talking and learning about the needs and requirements for an international trainer. What are the needs for an international trainer and what are the requirements for an international trainer and what are the trainer's ethics and etiquettes. All these things we will be talking about. And we will also understand the role of a trainer. As a trainer, one should understand what is their role as a domestic trainer, also as a international trainer. So with that, so when we are talking about the roles and responsibilities of a trainer, alongside that, we will also be talking about the ethics and etiquettes of a trainer that one needs to practice and one needs to follow as a trainer. So the requirements, to understand the first thing about the requirement, yes. The next slide, please, ma'am.
Is it okay, sir?
Yeah. So next slide. Please move to the next slide, ma'am.
Sir, it's not going. I'm trying.
Okay. Right.
The requirements of a trainer. The first and foremost requirement of a trainer is that a trainer should be a pet. I hope everyone of you do understand what is the meaning of a pet. He should be a pet to the participants, and he should also treat the participants as his or her pets, because that should be built between the participants and the trainer. Why the trainer should be a pet? Pet in the sense here to build a good relationship. So to become a pet of the participants, a trainer should be a professional. Means he should be well trained, should be having the 360-degree knowledge about the topic that he is going or she is going to deliver on that day or on that particular session. So he should be very well versed in the presentation skills, should be very well versed in the communication skills, and should be very well versed in the interpersonal and intrapersonal skills. This is what the professionalism of a trainer is. And a trainer should be an educated person. Educated should have a minimum graduation so that the language barrier would not be there while communicating with the participants. And the trainer should be well trained to the particular session one is going to deliver. If I am delivering a communication skills training session to the participants, I should be trained on the communication skills. I should have got certified as a communication skills trainer or a soft skills trainer. Or I should have been trained on what is exactly the communication skills. So what are all the components that are there in a communication skills? All these sort of things should be known to the trainer. So the trainer should be a well-trained person when it comes to the pet. Next slide, ma'am. Then, continuing with the requirements, a trainer should have the good qualification. As I told you, minimum basic qualification as at least as a graduate. And should use the appropriate language. Here, when we talk about the language, it refers to three things. One is, if you are a global trainer, you'll have to use the international communication language, that is English, as the delivery language. If you are a domestic trainer, you should be delivering the training in a bilingual thing. One is the English language, the other one is the regional language of that particular region, so that the participants will be able to understand the context of the content clearly and practice them in their life and build their career in the right way. Here, when we talk about the language, whether it is a regional language or the international language or there is English language, again the languages will be having two types. One is the healthy language, the other one is the filthy language. Always trainers should use the healthy language. No unparliamentary language should be used during the entire training section, whatsoever may be the scenario has arisen during the training session. Even if there is a conflict between the participants and the trainer or between two participants, whatsoever the thing would arise, trainer should keep the patience and always try to use only the healthy languages. No non-parliamentary or unparliamentary languages should be used. Then the communication. A trainer should have and possess a very good communication skills. A very good in the sense, it should have the adequate communication skills to deliver a session. The body, it can be a verbal, non-verbal, and the tonality. All these three things plays a very important role in the communication part of it. A trainer, when it comes to communication, that is especially the non-verbal communication, the grooming, the dressing sense of the trainer, then the postures, gestures, all these things comes into play into the when a trainer is communicating with the participants. A trainer should be a public speaker. Public speaker means it's not that you have to become a politician, go hold the mic in front of you like this and speak to the public. No. Public speaker means a person who addresses more than one person will be a public speaker. A person who speaks to the public, whether it is a group of students, it is a group of employees, whether it is a group of farmers, whether it is a group of housekeeping persons, whatsoever, whether it is a public citizens, one who can address and give clarifications and answers to the queries that are being raised, and use that good communication skills to make the participants or the listener to understand what the speaker is speaking. That person is known to be a public speaker. So a trainer should possess this quality of being a public speaker. Then a trainer should also be well versed with the personality development. Personality development, the topic personality development is a primary requirement for the trainer to know, should have the knowledge on the personality development topic. Also, self grooming, following the trainer's etiquettes, ethics, etc. And should have the high degree of confidence to deliver the session. So when a trainer possesses this high degree of confidence in him or her, would be able to answer the participants any questions that arise, or will be able to clarify the any doubts that arise in between the session. Then, as I was telling earlier, should possess a very good subject knowledge as well. Next slide, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, next slide.
Ravi sir, I'm trying. Just a minute. You don't.
Okay.
It's not
Yeah.
happening. I don't know. It's going very
Okay,
slow.
okay. No worries. Let me check.
الحمد لله اليوم لهلا مضاين الضوء يا رب نصيب البلاء. صح جيب لك ماي؟ شو ماي؟ خليني اجيب لك.
Ravi sir, please mute everyone now.
Yeah.
There is so much of disturbance.
Okay. After this, a trainer should always know and understand what is the full form of a trainer, of the acronym of a trainer. That is TRAINER, trainer. So before I get into this, there is a few more things that were left over in the previous slide. After the confidence and the subject knowledge, a trainer should always possess a very good standard of soft skills and the life skills. Should have an adequate knowledge about the soft skills part of it, and also should follow that. And should also have a life skills. A trainer should also be knowing the pedagogies and the methodologies and the techniques of delivering the session, because the trainer would be delivering the sessions to the adults, should have an adequate knowledge about the adult education as well. Now, if we see the overview of a trainer, if you want to understand what is the overview of a trainer, the overview of a trainer is that a trainer should understand the acronym of the term trainer. Trainer means T stands for trust. A trainer should develop trust with the participants, with all the stakeholders, and also should have trust on himself or herself that he or she can deliver the session in the right manner, in the right time, following the time management as well. Then, relevant. A trainer should have a relevant knowledge about the topic and should not diverge from the topic during the training sessions. If at all any examples are being given, the realistic examples, the real examples that we give during the training sessions should be relevant to the topic of the training being delivered. He should be an architect. A trainer should be an architect, should have that knowledge or should possess that skill of architecting the session that is being delivered. Should be an intellectual. A trainer should be an intellectual. Here, I have made a humorous thing that is LI, IL, and LL. This stands for an intellectual. Who can be an intellectual? LI means literated, illiterate. He might be literated, might be postgraduate, might be a doctorate, PhD holder, whatsoever, might be an MS holder. But if it doesn't possess the ethics and etiquettes of a literate person that needs to be, doesn't possess the subject knowledge that is being delivered, then he will become a literated, illiterate person. He is not suitable to be a trainer. Then the second person is illiteratedly literate person. A person might be illiterate, but having a very good knowledge about many things and all the life skills or the soft skills part of it. But if he is an illiterate person, not able to read and write, he can deliver. Just tell him about the topic, he can just deliver, but not able to read and write, not able to understand what is being there in the content, then that person can also not become a trainer. A trainer should always be a little. That means literatedly literated person. That means you should have the right literacy qualifications, should possess the 360-degree knowledge about the life skills and the soft skills, also should be having the adequate knowledge about the topic that is being delivered on the particular day or on a particular session. That is what is an intellectual means in the trainer's language. And a trainer should always be a non-discriminative person or a non-biasing person. Trainers should not possess this biasing quality in him or her. Whether it is male, whether it is a discrimination being on gender, designation, whatsoever it is. There should be no discrimination. Hence, a trainer should always be non-discriminative. He should be like an elevator. That means a trainer should possess this quality of elevating, that means upgrading and upskilling the participants to the next level. Also, upgrade himself or herself to the next level. And should have the willingness to learn, should be open to learn. The willing learning attitude should be possessed in a trainer to elevate himself and also to elevate the participants That's why a trainer should also enact the role of an elevator. And a trainer should be ready to relearn, because most of us, as the trainers, what we know is, yes, yeah, I know the topic. I am been doing that for quite a long time since I started my career. But according to the current trend and as per the demand of the stakeholders, if it doesn't change, when we change, we have to unlearn and relearn. So that quality should be there in a trainer. So if all these qualities are possessed in a trainer, then an individual will become a very effective trainer. Next slide, ma'am. Next thing is that a trainer should be a polite person. He should not be aggressive, nor he should not be very passive. Polite here in the sense he should always be an assertive person. Polite means what? A trainer should possess a pleasing professionalism in him or her. That pleasing professionalism should be displayed whenever a trainer enters into the training arena. Then a trainer should always be an objective oriented person. You should not divert from the objective of the topic of the day's session. And the trainer should also be inclined to learn and gather more knowledge about the objective of the day's training topic. And a trainer should be a learning inclined person, should be always volunteer himself or should always take initiatives to learn new things that are coming up these days. Because today's trend is changing so fast. The individual should be ready to match the speed of his learning with the change in the trend of the current day situation. A trainer should always be transparent. There should be nothing hidden between the trainer and the participants. Whatever the training session is being delivered, a trainer should be totally transparent in delivering those sessions. And he should be very empathetic. If empathy is not there in a trainer, if it doesn't show empathy towards the participants, trainer will not be able to gel with the participants. Here, being empathetic means that a trainer should be empathetic because he should get into the shoes of the participants. It is not that because if I am the trainer, I know everything, I cannot ask the participants to rise to my level all of a sudden and understand whatever the thing that I am saying at one go. Using jargons is another difficulty that the participants might be facing. Because I am a trainer and I know what is there, I know about the jargons, I can easily understand. But what is the level of the participants? A trainer should always get down to the level of the participants, of the below average learner. We should get into the level of the below average learner participant to understand the requirements and the needs and the constraints of that below average participants of the group and try to cope up with that particular participant and lift that participant, upgrade that participant, upskill that participant, the language we use, the examples we use, and the scenarios that we are going to talk about should be easily understood to that individual. So that is the reason, as a trainer, giving one example will not suffice. Always try to give 3 to 4 examples for any such incidences wherever the examples are need to be given. Because one might be able to understand one set of example, the other might be able to understand the other set of an example, the third might be able to understand the third set of an example. So always give 2 or 3 examples to make the participant to understand the topic very well and will be able to implement those learnings in their life. So to get into that level, a trainer should always be very empathetic. That's what the polite means. Being polite is having a pleasing professionalism, should be objective oriented, should be a learning inclined person, should be very interactive with the participants, should be transparent with the participants, and should be an empathetic person. Then the next overview for a trainer is that a trainer should be eager to deliver. A trainer should be eager to learn. A trainer should be eager to make changes, adjust to the changes. So eager means what? Let us understand what does eager stands for. Ma'am, can you please change the slides if it is possible? Next slide. Yeah. Eager. A trainer should be enthusiastic, should be filled with enthusiasm to learn new things, should be filled with enthusiasm to deliver the session very energetically, should be filled with enthusiasm to participate with the participants if there is being any activities or games being played. Should not stand apart from the participant, should mix up with the participant. Only when the trainer is having enthusiasm, he feels enthusiastic, then only the participants will also be feeling enthusiastic to take part in the activities actively. As I told you earlier, a trainer should always be very assertive, neither passive nor aggressive. Assertive here in the sense not to lose patience, and also because not losing the patience, you should not be totally too sober in front of the participants also. Should be ready to take the negatives and look at the positives of those negatives and convert them into the positivities and give it back to the person who is talking the negatives. So that the person also feels, even if I say something negative, this person takes it on the positive side and giving me back something positive so that I should change myself. That feeling should be given to the participants by the trainer. That's what the assertiveness means. He should never be too passive. Arey yaar, I don't know about that. You just keep quiet. No, not good. Or should not be too aggressive, saying that no, this is not the way of asking the questions. You are not supposed to ask these type of questions. You please shut up and sit down. No. Whatever the scenario is, whatsoever maybe the situation is, try to ascertain the scenarios and be assertive. Then should always express gratitude to the participants and also to the stakeholders. Trainer should possess this quality of extending the gratitude to all the stakeholders and also to the participants. When I use the word stakeholders, even the participants also become the stakeholders here. A trainer should be an extrovert, should not be an introvert. He should be able to speak for long hours without getting tired. But speak all sensible things, no nonsense things. That's what I said, no filthy languages, only healthy languages. A trainer if he is an extrovert, will automatically gain the ability of spontaneously answering the any unexpected questions that might rise from the participants. So practice extrovertism. That would help the trainer to gel up with the participants easily and go along with the participants. A trainer should always be reciprocative and realistic. Whenever a question is being asked, or whenever a doubt is being raised, or whenever there is a thing that needs clarification, the trainer should never say, okay, I'll come to that later. I'll come to you separately. No. Should be reciprocative and answer the questions or clear the doubts or give the clarifications as and when it is being raised. And also be realistic. Don't just give the answers which are unsatisfactory. Give the realistic, and whenever you using the examples, let the examples be also be the realistic one. Yes, ma'am. Next. Now, the definition of a trainer. Who is a trainer, or what is the definition of a trainer? Can anyone tell me about this? Any of you? What do you understand by the term trainer? Right. A trainer is the person one who trains someone on a desired aspect or the requirement of an organization. A trainer can train an individual or a group of people. So, if it is an individual, a trainer will be training the individual on the desired aspects or the required skill set to an individual, or would be delivering the trainings that are required by an organization for its employees. A trainer is the one who instructs or guides the participants to develop a competency and skill set to perform effectively and efficiently in the workplace to improve and enhance the productivity. That means a trainer will always help the participants, help the trainees to develop a competency level in their skill sets. So when the trainees develop this competency in the skill set, competency, they rise to the level of the competency so that they can perform their task very effectively and efficiently, which in turn would improve the productivity of the organization. A trainer is the person who communicates to the trainees about what is being expected from the training in a simple and professional way. That means a trainer should be able to paraphrase the entire day's sessions, learnings, and how it would affect on the improvement of the career of the trainees. Next, ma'am. So let us understand professionalism. As we were saying in the very first slide, I was talking about professionalism. So what is professionalism? Who is a professional? A person is called a professional when that person has outshone himself or herself in a particular stream or in a particular role. That person is said to be a professional. He is a bank professional. That means what? He knows about the banking terms, banking etiquettes, ethics, so on and so forth. He is very well versed with the banking knowledge. So, like that, professionalism means what makes you unique. I am also a trainer by profession. All of you are trainer by profession. I am a teacher by profession. All of you are teacher by profession. So, what makes me to be unique and the stakeholders come to me amongst the crowd? Yes, if at all, if we have to get into that, we have to get to that person. Or what is that one uniqueness that you are possessing? Whenever a person refers, they refer to you. So, possess that uniqueness in you. What do you offer that others don't? Uniqueness means what? I'm also a trainer. I am also delivering the same thing. Another person is also a trainer. He is also delivering the same thing. But what is the difference between we two? We are delivering the same topic, same content. Everything is same, but we two are delivering the same thing in a two different manner. What is that difference that I have from the other person that makes me to stand unique? That attracts more participants towards me, more stakeholders towards me than the other person. What is the experience and results do I have that others don't? Means, what is that healthy comparison that you are having? How many years of experience in the training arena I do possess when compared with the other person? And what is the result of my training sessions? That is, what is the percentage of result? Result in the sense, the percentage of success a trainer could create to the organization or to the individuals. The percentage of success of being trained to an organization or to the individuals when compared with the other person. And possessing a specialized training or a trained certificate that sets one apart from the others. Say, for example, if I am an international communication coach, there are many international communication. Is someone speaking? Right. If I am a international communication coach, what is that uniqueness I have in me? What is that specialized certification that I have done? I have done all the 3 levels of certifications to be an international communications coach from the International Coaching Federation, ICF. I done the basic, I done the intermediate, and I also done the advanced level of communication coach. A person with the basic communication coach certification, he is also termed as a communication coach. A person with an intermediate level certification, he is also termed as a communication coach. Even I am also termed as a communication coach. When these 3 things are common, what is that uniqueness I have when I over others? I have done my advanced level of communication coach from a very reputed international coaching federation. Those things that makes me to be a very professional communication coach. And finally, one should think, why should the people or why should the stakeholders do or continue business with you? The answer is rest of the 4 that is being said above. The answer for the class, that is the question, why should people do business with you? The answer is the above 4. Means, what is the uniqueness in you? And what is that you offer differently from others? And what is your level of experience and the results, percentage of results that has been you are able to convert the life of the participants to a higher level, and having been certified as a different person. Yes, ma'am. Next slide, please. So, because a trainer always trains the adults, a trainer should also understand what is or who is an adult learner. To understand that who is an adult learner, what all the things or what is that one technique that we can follow to understand about the adult learning process. Here is a acronym termed as SAROM. Means an adult learner will always be a self-concept or a self-directed person. Most of the adults, when it comes to learning, they try to learn from themselves and they will have their own concept of learning. They will have their own way of, they are self-directed by themselves. Yes, as per the things one might be saying, you have to get up very early in the morning if you have to attend an examination and prepare for the examination. But all the individuals will not follow the same thing. Adult learners means they are employees. They'll try to read or write or acquire knowledge as per their free time and as per their perceptions. Because they are self-directed. They go according to their own directions. To understand that and then impart the training to the adults. The adult learner is an experienced person. You will be having the experience. Means he is already having some existing knowledge in him or her. Adult learner would be having different types of experiences in different verticals and different domains also. The trainer should understand these set of things. And it is always advisable that an adult learner or shows their readiness to learn. That means they develop in the role. They show that readiness to learn, but still they lag behind because of certain things. I already studied this. I already know about this. So this type of concept should be understood by the trainer before handling the adults. And these adult learners always needs an orientation to learning. Means they want to know the solution for the current problems that they are facing or that they are having. And finally, one should motivate these adult learners to learn, means which is an intrinsic one. They should be motivated. The motivation level should be high. Next slide, ma'am. So when we talk about the characteristics of a adult learning system, normally the Kolb's learning style is adopted here. That is, sorry, Kolb's learning style is that experience means an adult learner will be possessing some experience of the work experience, would be having a certain degree of experience in all the three lifestyles, that is the personal lifestyle, professional lifestyle, and even the social lifestyle. And will have that reflection on him whenever the adult learning happens. With that experiential learning, what is the reflection that the learner is getting? Then the conceptualization of the learning, and then the last final thing is the test. So of having a concrete experience of sharing the knowledge and also about the particular stream of work one is undergoing. And then once that knowledge is being imparted, that means the experiential knowledge or the experiential learning is shared with the participants. We should observe the reflection on that experience that may lead to the formation of abstract concepts, that is the analysis, and the generalization, that is the conclusions, which are then used to test hypotheses in future situations, resulting in new experiences. Is it clear till here? So as I was talking about the experience, that is the experiential learning cycles as per the Kolb's learning cycle or the Kolb's learning style. So the concrete experience, the new experience or the situation is encountered, or a reinterpretation of existing experience. Then the reflective observation of new experiences, something new is learned, right? So that how it would reflect of a particular importance or any inconsistencies between experience and the understanding. Then the third is the reflection that gives rise to new ideas, ideologies, or new modifications of an existing abstract concept that a person has learned from their experience. That is the abstract of conceptualization, and active experimentation gives the learner that applies their ideas or the learned knowledge to the world around them to see what that's happening around. Now the basics of a trainer, or the basics, ethics and etiquettes of a trainer, what a trainer should follow. Ma'am, can you please change the slides? Next slide, please.
Sir, more next or this is okay?
No, next. Next to this.
Okay, sir. Actually, there is some kind of a tab,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it's not moving only.
Yeah.
I am trying 3-4 times, then it's going away.
Okay.
Yeah, you start,
No
sir.
worries. Yes. So, what are the basic ethics and etiquettes of a trainer we will talk about? So, here there is a very small acronym that needs to be followed. It says that he map, she swap. So, what is that he map? If we try to understand, H stands for humor. A trainer should always use the humor while delivering the sessions or while handling any sessions. Whatever may be the level of the participants, the humor should be relevant to the level of the participants' understanding. A humor that doesn't mean that you should use the filthy language or non-parliamentary language to make the people laugh, and it should not be a joke. Joke is something different from humor. So, creating the humor in such a way that keeping the environment light and very cohesive. As I was earlier saying, a trainer should always be empathetic, means should possess that empathy in him, so that the trainer can recognize the suffering and understand the universality of the human sufferings. Someone might be down on enthusiasm or down with the confidence on a particular day. Might be a very bright person, but on that particular day or on that particular given time, due to some reason or the other, might be down on confidence or down on enthusiasm or down with energy, can happen. But as a trainer, should be able to understand that situation of the person. You cannot straight away judge or point to that individual at any cost. Then a trainer should possess that mindfulness. That means the state of awareness. A trainer should always be aware of all the consequences that might arise during a training session and should be ready to face those things and ready to resolve any issues if that might come across. And a trainer should always practice with the self-awareness, social awareness, and emotional balance. These three are the very major required ethics of a trainer. There is the self-awareness, social awareness, and the emotional balance. A trainer should be assertive, that is hail. That means being assertive is a trainer should possess the honesty, a trainer should be possessing the authenticity, integrity, and love. Then a trainer should be having a very good presentation skills. That means before going for the delivery, trainer should check back if he or she is very well versed with all the 5 P's for the presentation. The first and foremost P is the plan. A trainer should plan well before going to the training session and imparting the training. Should have adequate number of plans, plan 1, plan 2, plan 3, or plan A, plan B, plan C. Because if one thing doesn't work, the other one should be able to readily accept. Say for example, the today's consequence, the today's scenario itself. My laptop has crashed all of a sudden because I am working from morning 4:30 on my laptop till 6:30 in the evening. I was in a session from morning 4:30. That is almost 14 hours continuous training session was going on. My laptop was on for. I knew very well that today evening I am having a session from 7:30 because 8 o'clock the session might start, but I had to log in at 7:30 to check for every possibilities and impossibilities that might arise, the constraints that might arise. It's but of so many things. Do I have the plan B to run the session? The plan B was sharing my PPT with someone else and I being on the online through some other device. These type of things, a trainer before getting into the presentation should plan this thing well in advance. Second P is that should prepare himself or herself well before getting onto the training session. So I might have been delivering this particular training session, that is to train the trainer for the last 2 years. I would have done more than 3 or 4 sessions. Still, whenever I do my next session, I should treat my next session as my very first session. I should prepare myself that I am preparing for my very first session. This is my very first presentation. This is first of my training kind of a thing. Much preparedness every time one should possess, start doing. Then practice. Once you prepare yourself, don't get satisfied. Yes, I have prepared, I have run through the entire deck of the PPTs. I know what is there and what is not there. I know in which slide number what is there and what is not there. No. Once you prepare the content, once you are very well prepared with the delivery system, practice that. Because when we practice, what is practice? Practicing means redoing the things, rehearsing the things. Do the rehearsals. When we do the rehearsals, when we redo the things, we come to know or we will be able to identify our own flaws. And those flaws are the gaps that would arise tomorrow when I go for the delivering the session. We can fill those gaps before we get into the final session and deliver it there. Then project it to the concerned client so that the client is satisfied with the content. After projecting it, then you participate in the presentation. That means participate means you go for the delivery of the session. This is what is HEMAP. Next slide, ma'am. Then the next, this thing is she map. Sorry, she swap. What does S stands for? S stands for simulation. Simulation is a technique, in fact, which enables or which helps the adult learners to gain new set of skills that rise to the level of competency and improvise the knowledge level and the behavior. Trainer should always possess this ethic in him. Means he should be having that simulation in him. Means using new techniques and learn about the adult learners. What are the adult learners? What are the pedagogies I need to implement for the adult learners? And gain skills, be competitive. Healthy competition is to be needed. Have the 360-degree knowledge and a very well-behaved person. A trainer should also possess the humbleness. Humbleness, as all of us know, being humble, no, not being down to the earth, doesn't mean that one has to be totally sober or one has to be uh, totally having patience, never have the impatience, never display impatience. No, that cannot be the humbleness. Humbleness means what? Humbleness, that is the quality, right? It is a quality in a human that opens the door of success faster, looking everyone as equal without any emotional or sentimental imbalance. This is what I was saying, should be a non-discriminative person. Whether it is a sentimental one or the emotional imbalance that is being occurred, a trainer should be able to handle this sort of a situation. Means a trainer should be emotionally strong, a trainer should be sentimentally strong, and the trainer should always be mentally strong. That is what is the mindfulness. Then enthusiastic, it is being repeated. I'm not going to say this again. It is being enthusiastic means it is the difference between having to do a task or wanting to do a task that motivate others. Right? So understand the difference between having to do and wanting to do. Having to do means doing it for someone else's obligation. Say, for example, I am delivering this session on this day, on the very first day, because there is a lot of pressure on me. I am supposed to do this because it is my responsibility or whatsoever it is. Having to do, because otherwise I will not be spared. I will not get leave. I will not be supported in the organization. So once I have been ordered, I have to do it. Like the soldiers having to do, because there is an external pressure, there is an external want in that, which is not done with the own interest. That is what is having to do with someone external force, some obligation. Wanting to do a task means I want to do it because it is my task, taking the ownership of the task. So if you want the ownership of a task, you get enthusiastic automatically. You will be more enthusiastic because you see, whenever you want to do anything for your own self, you feel much happy and you feel much energetic and you feel much enthusiastic because you are doing it for your own self. So, for example, if I am a child, if my parent asks me to go and get something from the shop for the household, this thing, I might say, no, Mama, I'm tired. Just now I come from the school or college, I'm not able to do it. You are at home, from morning you only go and get those things. But if the same requirement is there for me for my personal use, even if I have come 1 hour late from the school or the college or from the even from the office also, still I'll go and get that thing done. That's what is the difference between having to do and wanting to do. Then skills. A trainer should possess a very good skill set. That means what is a skill? Ability to do something with more precision that adds something more to existing abilities and more ahead in the growing world. Will be able to think out of the box. Should be able to explore new things and get better new results out of that. Then should have that willingness to work, willingness to do, willingness to deliver, willingness to learn. So the willingness, no, it is just a quality that is being demonstrated, right? Showing your readiness to do anything. Then attitude. A trainer should be having that cognitive, affective behavior that shows the adjustments, ego defensive, value expression, and knowledge to transform from I can, I can't to I can. Means able to transform from stubborn to humble. That's what the attitude means. Then should have that passion to deliver, passion to learn, right? An intellectual, very emotional, and a physical drive that generates positive actions through heart, mind, soul, and body to make something possible. That means taking ownership of anything and delivering from the bottom, from the depth of the heart, saying that this is my own this thing, I have to do it in the way it needs to be done. That's what is the passion. Next slide, man. Then the training need, a trainer should always be well versed with the training need analysis, that is TNA, and the training need identification, that is termed as TNI. So what is the training need analysis and how to perform it? A training need analysis, or it can also be said as the training need assessment at times, and the training need identification, these two goes hand in hand. Training need analysis and the TNI, that is the training need identification, they go hand in hand always. So, what is the TNA? TNA is a systematic approach, right? For what? For determining what training needs to take place. That means you get into the organization comes to you and tells that I need this set of training for my employees. Okay. You visit the head of the organization or head of the L&D department. Try to understand what they actually need in the training session. They will give you certain ideas, certain requirements. After that, interacting with the participants. That means understanding the level of understanding of the participants. What is the understanding level of participants? So for that, what all needs to be done? And what is the vision and mission of the organization for which this training needs to be imparted? So matching the vision of the organization and the training that is going to be delivered is known as the training need analysis. We have to analyze that. And it is also the method of determining whether training needs exist or not. Once you understand the requirements from the head of the L&D, from the organization, after interacting with the participants, does that particular thing, what is being demanded or what is being needed by the organization, really does that the need does exist or not? If it does, then what type of training is required to fill that particular gap? It also seeks to identify accurately the levels of present situation in the target surveys, interviews, observations, etc. So when we do this training need analysis, interacting with the participants, we will understand the accuracy level of the present situation. What is the present situation? How these people are performing? What is their performance level? After identifying them, we go for a target service and interview the, that means interacting with the participants. Then we observe how they are working. All these things constitute to training need analysis. Training need analysis or the training need gap identifications, TNI. It is a gap between the current status of an individual to that of the desired level of the organization. Right? So this, what is the difference between the current status and the desired status? That gap or the problems that are causing to create this gap that has arisen here, those can be identified as the training need identification. These are known as the TNIs. This analysis is done by understanding where they are now, means where they stand right now and where they need to be now. Means what is the length of service, what is the level of education, all these things, when we compare that, when we analyze that thing, and because of that much of experience and that much of academic knowledge and that much of experiential knowledge one is having, where that person should have been and where he is, where that person is at right now. Again, there is a gap. Where the person is and where he should have been. That gap. So where it should have been is, after that, where that person need to go or where that person need to be. That means it can be tomorrow, it can be in the near future, it can be in the long future. So when we understand these things, then we try to understand their skill sets, their knowledge, and all these things create the gap for the learning. Once we understand all these things, then finally we try to do a performance test for filling these gaps. This is training need identification, that is TNI. Now, training need analysis or the training need assessment, that is TNA, and the training need identification, that is TNI. We can always conduct this in the 9 steps. So what are those 9 steps? The first one is determine the desired outcome. We have to determine what should be the desired outcome. Then link the desired outcome with the employee behavior. Means that gives you the gap. identify the trainable competencies. Means what all the training needs to be imparted and what is the gap? When you compare these two things, you will come to know about the competency of the training that needs to be imparted. Then evaluate the competencies and then determine the gaps. Prioritize the training needs. Means we should know what are the training needs, what needs to be done first and what needs to be done next. We should prioritize those things. And also determine the training methods. What type of training method should be used? Whether just a classroom training is good enough, or we need to do an OBT, that is outbound training, or just activity-based classroom training will do, or only a lecture type will do. So these type of methodologies, what type of training needs to be done, we need to determine those things. Then also, after doing all these things, we should also see for the cost-benefit analysis. If one is going to impart training for these many days, how much cost effective that would be? And if the finance is involved in that, how much cost benefit could be done? Those things need to be analyzed. Then the report the analysis and the findings. Finally, plan for the training evaluation. These are the 9 steps that need to be conducted for doing a TNA. Then the goal setting. Why this goal setting? Is set a target and achieve it within the stipulated frame of time. That is what is said to be the goal setting. But what is needed to set a goal? One cannot set the goal blindly. To set a goal, what is that required? First and foremost thing is the focus, that is the concentration. How much it is required? 100%. Then the competition should understand who is my competitor and what is the competition that is going on in the current scenario. So for that, what I should do? I should practice. What is that? How much I should practice? 100% till you win the competition. Then, what is the conquest? That is the thoughts. That is called as the thinking out of the box, TOB. How will I conquer? What is the conquest? This level, how will I conquer my goal? So, one has to work on these smart techniques and adopt the 5 Ds to achieve the set goal. What is that? SMART and the 5 Ds are SMART refers to specific, which I need not explain in detail because this everyone knows. Should have a specific set of mind to achieve the goal and should set the goal first. I want to become what? Or I want to reach what? It should be specific and it should be measurable. It is not that if it is out of my reach, I set that.
I
No.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When is this training need analysis done? Before you conduct, or in between you conduct, or after you conduct a session?
Training, good question. A training need analysis and a training need identification, that is TNA and TNI, both are conducted before the training is being to be planned.
Mm.
Before you plan for a training session, you need to conduct the TNA. After you conduct the TNA, you will come to know about the TNI. And after the TNA is being done, to conduct the TNA, there are many psychometric tests that needs to be done. Those things we'll be talking about in the coming days, in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th day,
All right. Okay, yeah, understand.
right? So today I am just giving you the needs and requirements of the training, how it should go. On day 2 or day 3, we will talk in detail about the psychometric tests, what are the pedagogies that need to be used, what are the methodologies that need to be used. Those things we will talk in detail. However, to answer your question, both the TNA and TNI needs to be done beforehand of conducting any training session.
Hello.
Hi, please.
Yeah, hi. I have
Hi.
raised my hand. If both are conducted before the planning of training, then when we will do training evaluation once the training has been done?
Once the training has been done, the training evaluation means what? When will you evaluate a paper?
What?
When will the answer papers be evaluated, after the examination or before the examination?
After.
After the examination, right? So
Yes.
the training evaluation will be done after the training is being imparted, so that we'll be able to understand where the person was standing before the training was imparted and where this person is standing now after the training is being imparted. That's what is training evaluation,
Okay.
right? Does this answer your query?
Yes. And what is the exact difference between analysis and identification? Both are meant to be
Analysis, you see, that's what I said. Analysis or assessment and the identification go hand in hand. You see, analysis means you analyze the things first. You compare the current status to the desired status. Say, for example, I'll take you as an example. Now, you have been asked to deliver the session tomorrow on the leadership and team building skill sets, right? But before I assign you that particular task of taking a session of leadership and team building session, I would check with you what is your current level of delivering the training sessions about that particular vertical. So when I know that, and what is the desired level I want you to deliver to the client, to my client. So there is a gap between you and my desire. What is the your current level and my desired level? There is a gap. Either you can be high or I can be high. Either way it can be thing. So gap, that gap we need to understand. We need to identify that. When we identify the gap, that gap is TNI. You got it?
I like to ask a question.
Yes, please.
Are there specific tools and questionnaires, surveys that will enable us to get this kind of analysis?
Yes, that's what I told you a few while ago. There are different psychometric tests that can be carried, or
Yeah.
sometimes we go with a simple technique or a simple methodology of going for a pre-assessment,
Mm.
right? A pre-assessment is a training need analysis. So after knowing taking the pre-assessment, we'll come to know that this is the gap and we plan to fill that gap, right? That
Understand.
gap is a training need identification, and after we fill the gap, after we have given you fill those gaps, after filling the gap, where do you stand? How much level you have crossed yourself? That is training need evaluation. That is called as TNE. For that, we conduct test again. Like you as a teacher, you carry out monthly tests, you carry out quarterly tests. So you compare both the level of the students. In the monthly test, where was the student standing? And in the quarterly test, where the student is standing. Now you come to know the gap between the monthly test and the quarterly test, and you will try to fill that gap between the monthly test and the quarterly test to prepare the student for the half yearly test. You got my point? Fernandez,
Yes, yes, I do understand. Yeah. There must
Right.
be specific ways how to get all this information. This analysis
yes.
should be done
True.
in a special format so that we can analyze the findings and use it for the improvement and filling up the gaps. I understand.
Filling up the gaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what is training need analysis and training need identification. Once you do the training need identification, you impart that particular training to the individuals. After imparting the training, how much effective the training is, how much implementation the participant has put in his life system, and what is the improvement after certain period of time. That is TNE, that is training need evaluation. You got it, Ayushi ji?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Shall we go ahead?
Yes.
Because we are already crossing the time. It's already 15 minutes over because of some technical lack at my end. Okay? Right.
Yes.
So the goal setting should be specific and it should be measurable and it should be achievable. One should not set the goal beyond one's limit or beyond one's ability or the capability, and it should be relevant to the person. And
Yeah, I have a question. Like you have mentioned that goals should be specific and measurable, that is SMART goals, right? But what are the
Yeah.
activities that we can perform to achieve our goals? To manage the
What are
time
the-
and all? Activities that we can perform by own to achieve the goals.
that's what I said, the last one. That is the timely. That means you, for each and every stage, say you are setting a specific goal, right? Say
Yes.
you are a trainer today, right? Now, you have put on some 5 years or 10 years of experience, still you are a trainer, but you want to become a master trainer in the next 5 years.
Yes, yes, you're
So,
right.
Today, so that is your specific goal that you want to become the master trainer in how many days? In the next 5 years.
Yes.
So by 2029 January, you should be a master trainer. You should get that certification done and you should be called as a master trainer. So time should be set there for that specificness also. It should be measurable. That means from today, from 2024 to 2025, what is the level of upgradation that you are going to do? What is the level of upskillment that you are going to do? That measurement, that should be there. You should set that. That's why you see this goal setting. Goal setting is not simply a goal setting. All the three terms are clubbed in this goal setting. That is short-term goals, long-term goals, and the mid-term goals. Right? Your long-term goal is becoming a master trainer. Short-term goal is how much improvement you do and what is the level of escalation for you from 2024 to 2025. That is the short-term goal. And from 2025 to 2027, in 2 years gap, to what level you want to go? You are setting a time frame of 2 years now. In that 2 years, what level you want to reach and what are the qualities that you wanted to improve in yourself? What are the skill sets that you wanted to improve in yourself? Make a note of it, jot it down. Have you done it? Can you
So
measure it?
So,
I was-
sir, does that mean that we must have different modules? Module 1, 2, 3, 4 in
Yes,
progression,
yes.
so that we
Progression
can
and you
keep
should,
them
and
from
you
one
should be
stage
able
to another.
yeah. And you should be able to measure your progress. That is what is measurable. You just cannot sit idle. Okay, 2024, I am sitting at home, I am doing 2 certifications. I have got the certificates. I'll become the master trainer. I'll do 5 more certifications. I'll become the master trainer. No, it cannot be measured. So what is measurable? You have to measure yourself. I have done 1 certification this year. So because of this certification, what is that implementation that I have done? What is that improvement I have done from my previous year to this year? Or from previous level to this level? Can you measure that? That is what is measurable. Right, Miss Ayushi?
Yes, it's okay. But yesterday, one of my students asked me that, ma'am, how to manage the time. So how is it
Okay,
possible?
how to manage? You see, how
That
to
you are
manage
taking
the
goal setting. So he was asking me about the time management, that he was not able,
time
not
management?
able.
Yeah. To answer that question, a simple phrase would a time for everything at its time. A place for everything at its place. That's how the time management can be done. That means whatever the activity you do in a day, that is 24 hours, you set a time frame for that and you follow that time frame. You follow the time frame for 21 days, 22nd day, you see that 24 hours will become 24 hours, 15 minutes for you. That means you will be sparing 15 minutes for yourself. What is time management? Carrying out a specific required task within the stipulated time with more productivity, with more and measured productivity. That is what is time management. The definition for time management is. There is a huge difference between time management and punctuality. Punctuality, I go to office at 10, come back home at 5 o'clock. That is punctuality, going on right time, leaving on right time. But I go to office every day at 9 o'clock, every day I leave my office at 5 o'clock. Yesterday I did this much amount of work and tomorrow I will be doing this much amount of work. What is the increase in productivity within the same stipulated period of 8 hours, 9 to 5? That is called as time management. Right?
Yes,
Could you get it? Aisha ji?
I got
Yeah.
it.
Okay, thank you, my dear. Then it should be achievable. That means it should be one's capability or it should be within one's ability. They should know, will I be able to do it in 5 years? Do I have that capacity? If not, how much more time is required? So that means it should be measurable and achievable. Again, these two things go hand in hand. And it should be relevant to one's profession. I'm an engineer by profession. I cannot become an orthopedic surgeon tomorrow. By 2030, I should be an orthopedic surgeon. Okay, fine. By 2030, I should be an orthopedic surgeon. I am a commerce graduate now. Another 6 years, if I start studying science from now, in the next 6 years, I will not be able to get into the level of a intermediate student also. So that it should be relevant. What is your stream of education? What is your stream of qualification? What is your stream of academics? And what is your interested area? With all these things based, you should set a goal for your career. Right? And it should be timely. Every action needs to be taken on the right time, whatever the time frame is fixed for it. To understand this much better, on the right hand side, you can see that there are 5. Oh, sorry, ma'am, please change the next slide. There is a 5D technique, it is called as 5 Ds. There are 5 Ds you need to follow. The first one, the first and foremost D is the desire, the urge. That is what is specific. You should have some specific desire in you. Yes, becoming a master trainer after 5 years is your desire, the urge in you. That desire, that urge should be there in you. Then you should dream that. That means it should be measurable. That means, yes, today I have done this. You should dream. Today I was a normal trainer. Tomorrow I'll be 1 day more experience. Next month I'll be 1 month more experience. That level, what should be my level of learning? Those dreams one should have. Then the third D is the dedication. That dedication is what is achievable. If you cannot dedicate yourself towards your goal, you cannot achieve it. You should dedicate yourself day and night or whatsoever it is. Whatever the spare time that you are doing. Today morning I woke up at 3 o'clock. I am feeling tired. I will not do it today. Let me do it tomorrow. Let me go and take rest. No, then there is no dedication in that. It should be dedicated. Then relevant means it should be devotion. You should have that devotion. You should devote yourself. And finally, last but not the last, least but not the least, this thing is the discipline. One should possess that discipline. If you have a good time management, you are a very disciplined person. Very simple as that. Or if you are a very disciplined person, you are having a very good time management. Right? So, ma'am, can you move the slide, please? Yeah, next slide, next to this. Okay. Next to this, ma'am. We are almost at the end of the session. Okay. Now, slightly like both ICG was asking how this goal setting is to be done. You see, to achieve the goal, do you want to try or you want to put in the effort? If you want to try or you want to put in the effort to achieve the goal. So what is try and what is effort? Understand the acronym of these two words. What is effort and what is try? Try means taking rest yet, or it's also known as the true reverse of yes. Whenever a person says that I'll try, that means there is no result in that. Try will not give you any result. Either you do it or you don't do it. If you don't do it, then no result. If you do it, means you won't do it timely. I'll try. मैं तो बताया था कर दूंगा. You say, I told you I will try to do it, but I was not able to do it. Always, whenever there is a try is used, result is zero. Then the effort. Effort says effectively focusing forward and reaching the target. That is taking initiation. Sorry, taking the initiation. The choice is yours. Whether you want to try or you want to put in the effort, the choice is yours. So what does choice says? Choice says that check honestly on initiated chat encryption. That means you have to encrypt your goal on a chart paper and keep it in front of you all the time. So check the encrypted chart honestly on each and every day. So the choice is yours. So that is either of the above, whether you want to go for a try or you want to go for put in the effort. So a trainer should also be a tech savvy, should be able to design the curriculum. Next slide, ma'am. And should be having that process of master the teaching or should have that good learning process, should be knowing the modern pedagogies, and should be a leader. So this, I come to the end of the day's session today, and I request all of you to jot down the 5 key takeaways of today's session. And tomorrow, before we start the session, we will talk about the 5 key takeaways of today. Every day, 5 key takeaways would be there, starting from first day to the last day. So jot down those 5 key takeaways of your learning sessions today. And those 5 key takeaways would always help us and help you also to improve our own skill sets. Thank you so much. If any questions, any queries, please feel free to ask.
Ravi sir, I feel as it's pretty delayed today. All can jot
Yeah,
down
ma'am.
the questions. You are there even on the last day, right? Rather, you
Yeah,
are there
yeah.
every day. So you can certainly help them out. Indeed,
No,
extremely
yeah, sure.
wonderful
Yes.
session in spite of technical glitches. We have just done that. Okay, thank you
Yeah.
everyone for your precious presence, and here with we end the session. The recording of the session will be a bit delayed because we need to edit it. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you
you, ma'am.
very much,
Thank you.
my dear
Good
CEO.
night. Thank you, sir.
Dr.